And welcome back to our Planet Coaster Harder Challenge Mode series. And you can already see we jump in and move the whirly rig out of our way because of the area we are about to work in. And yeah, this episode I wasn't too sure about what I wanted to work on. So this ended up being what I settled on, and boy am I happy with the results here. So right now we're just kind of taking care of how we're going to deal with the terrain level change. And it's not really anything too crazy here. We just get some planners. This isn't going to be like a high viewpoint. So, but before we go too far into that, if you haven't been following along with the series, we are doing some rules here. So they just popped up on the side of the screen. They honestly aren't going to impact us here in this episode too much, so we're not going to spend too much time on those, but they do impact us in previous episodes, and they will definitely impact us in episodes moving forward. So anyway, back to working on what we're building here. So I wanted to make a little bit more of a backstage area here, but I also wanted to kind of hide it from the people riding on Steel Eagle. And you know, I couldn't decide how, and you might hear my dog in the background because she decided to come upstairs and now she's coughing, so apologize for that. But yeah, I was really struggling on what I needed here, so I was just doing a lot of searching through the available pieces and what would fit here. I figured this crate would, yeah, I think it's feasible enough. This box truck, yes, I chose the one that moves. For whatever reason, I didn't want to build my own. I don't know why, but we do find a bunch of useful pieces that kind of tie this backstage area together. So we get a whole bunch of things in here. We changed some of the colors on the boxes so they look a little bit more battered and thrown around a little bit. We also got some regular boxes in here, half open one. We get some audio boxes. I guess they wouldn't necessarily be audio, but equipment boxes. And you know, I thought they would fit pretty nice with the transfer track there. And yeah, it's probably pretty far away from where it would actually sit, but I guess the idea is they want to keep the equipment in a safe area, but then we go ahead and put that giant generator there that would be used for the transfer track. I don't even know if that necessarily makes sense there, but I like the way it looks. So we do get a dumpster in as well, which that might be a little too large for a shop that size, but you know, we can kind of anticipate like janitors would probably come and empty trash bins there and all that kind of stuff. So we go back in and kind of work on our planner here a little bit, just to kind of add a little bit of foliage, get some trees in here. And you know, I kind of admittedly put some larger trees in this area that, you know, maybe I probably should have tried to keep the tree line down a little bit. You can see I'm lining the wall here with Tuscan Tucson trees, whatever you want to call them. They do not fully stay there. Some of them do, but we end up moving those back around and changing what's actually there. So yeah, we also duplicate the lamppost as little barriers, and you know, I think that's a nice little touch. We get a little concrete pad there for the generator, so we want to make sure people aren't going to be backing up or hit that in any way, shape, or form. From there, we go to what I was really trying to put off from building, and it is getting a restroom here that's going to have access to both the outside of the park and the inside of the park. And, you know, I think this building turned out a lot better than I anticipated it. I also spent a lot of time on, well, maybe not a lot, did a pretty quick job with terrain here, trying to get it to match up and kind of look somewhat believable. But I could not figure out how I wanted to get these terrain pieces or the restroom pieces in, because I wanted to make sure it didn't connect, so I didn't have to put barriers down to keep people out of there. And honestly, it kind of worked out pretty good. I don't know how I was able to get it, mainly because of the tiles, and then I wanted this to look a little different than the guest service building. So we end up using a lot of the um, I think it's the Ghostbusters firehouse pieces, and we just kind of mix and match a whole bunch of things, and gets a little bit of a black, blue, and grayish concrete mix. And honestly, I think it turns out really nice for what it is. It's just a bathroom building. It's not supposed to be anything extravagant, just something that you would see as you were coming into the park. And yeah, it seems to work. I do admittedly, again, go a little overboard with using some of the posters. Also, I'm not exactly sure why I chose to use the same walls inside as on the outside. That wouldn't typically be the case, but here we're never going to see the inside of this building. So this is a pretty standard square restroom block. And yeah, but I use a ton of these posters. I just think they're good space fillers. I obviously don't want to continue to use them, but it tends to be the bulk of what I do in this episode. The piece that I lay down the most, aside from wall pieces and whatnot. So yeah, and just in the inside, that's just to kind of fill some wall space. So that all seems to work itself out here. And the roof, I knew it was going to be a flat roof, which we're going to get to here in a second. First I wanted to have a little seating area next to the bathroom, so if families were waiting, they had that option. So I kind of mark that out and go back to the roof here. And I kind of used this style on the admin building in my old harder challenge mode series on my old PC that unfortunately died. Yeah, it's just a couple scenery art shapes with 2 layers stacked on top and then a 3rd layer in the middle with a different color, just to kind of break it up a little bit. So we get that all set up. We get some benches, we get some trash cans in here, and then this outside piece, I couldn't figure out exactly how I wanted. By the way, that bench drives me up the wall. I don't know why it would not work right, but we go ahead, we get some more planters in here just to kind of corner off the area that we have, and we get the color for the rest of the planters so that it's kind of matches in. We get some of the brick path covers, which I think looks nice. We do change the color a little bit to kind of blend in a little bit more. And I knew I wanted this to be covered, and I think this is the worst part of the build, because I think this is just super square. It's not super creative, but you'll see it kind of blends in once we get all the other buildings in. So I don't fully hate it. I don't think I hate it enough to change it. But you guys let me know in the comment section. I don't know why I chose to do it this way. I typically don't make a roof like this, but I guess I kind of figured since the other roof was the same way that maybe I needed to do it this way. I don't know. It wasn't a good decision, and I kind of think I got away with it. So we do get some more trees in here. We kind of realign the ones that are in the back there, and all that is looking pretty sharp. We do add restroom to the front here, just so people have that to see it, know what it is, which is nice. We get a couple smaller trees that are just going to be behind the building, which I think looks pretty good as well. And then we jump into some TVs here because I didn't want to use the posters anymore. So we go ahead and we get a Tiki Chiki ad as well as a Cosmic Cow ad. Actually, I think I changed it to Gulpy. Yeah, so I changed it to Gulpy because Tiki Chiki and Gulpy are both up in Corky's Courtyard Barbecue, so it tends to make a little bit more sense. In terms of lighting, we kind of use the same effect. We use these fiberglass panel lights as like the I can't remember what type of light it's called, but you understand what I'm saying. So we throw that in there, and then we throw some area lights underneath to give it a little bit more of a harsh lighting effect. So and then we move on to the big portion of the build, and this one I was struggling to figure out where I wanted the placement, and I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to use the grid and just kind of line it up that way to make it easy, and then it just never worked. I didn't like any of the ways that it was lining up. You can see I start doing the structure here. I want to kind of keep it the same but also be different from everything else, so it has that modern wood feel, and then we cover it up and we really kind of use that as an accent piece rather than anything else. So you can see we tucked it back now quite a bit away. We get some of these shop fronts that I rarely use, and it ends up working out really nicely. So we have the big shop front that has the big display windows, and then we just have windows that you can see in. So the idea is the right side there where the closed doors are, they are going to be it's going to be like a storage area, and then underneath the arches that you're seeing are the curved walls. That's going to be like the main entrance, and that's not actually, I don't even think that has a door. I don't even think I put a door in there. So I mess around with the pillars a lot, trying to get them lined up and all that. So we do mess around. There's just so many things. We do a lot of that style of roof where it has like the 3 layers that stick out, and the middle layer is a different color, because that's a little bit different from the guest service. It's a little bit different than the restroom building, and then they're on different heights yet too. I think there's 3 separate heights on this building just to keep it completely separate. So yeah, like I said, I mess with the pillars a lot because I didn't want it to fight with itself while I was looking at it. I wanted it to be one definite thing, so I sacrificed a little bit of it and sink it into the ground just to make sure that that happens. And I also felt like I needed to have a piece that stuck out up on the roof, so it kind of gave a little definition. Like if it would rain, it would kind of pool up there, and then we could kind of cater it to where we needed the rainwater to go. So I also wanted to have on the one side a glass opening to kind of let additional light into the building. I couldn't do that on both sides because I have an extra level of roof that's a little bit higher on one side. So we go ahead and we get the glass in there, and that I thought that seemed to work pretty good for what we were looking at. I also have this gray panel pieces. I don't know why I went with gray to start. I changed them, make it a little bit different color, but right now you're going to see I am going to create a circular feature for this building, and I think this turned out really nice. Once we got everything set up here, this worked extremely well to make a full circle of those pieces, and then we duplicate it and add it lower. And you know, it seems like a lot when it's just out there in its own where I was working, but honestly, I think it came together quite nice. And it kind of fits with the game. It's got the blue and the white, and the roofing obviously is black, but it doesn't even matter all that much. So we go ahead and we duplicate that down, so we have that. Now we place it back in. And I was gonna go through and delete all these pieces, and then I was like, you know what? There's a lot of gift shops that have something, not necessarily like this, but they'll have like circle or half circle things from the entrance, and they just kind of support it and just kind of bring it into the building to kind of keep with the theme. And I was like, you know what? I can do that, and it will save me from having to do something different. So that's kind of what we go for here. Obviously, it doesn't look perfect in there, but again, we're not going to be in this building all that much, so I'm not that concerned about having to worry about that. So we get our roof on the top, and then I think what we're going to do is we go around and we change the piece of the gray to blue. Not everywhere, but most of the places we get blue, except for like inside where I wanted to have the wall but just use the features around it to be the focal point. So we get a whole bunch of extra supporting for these half circle pieces inside now, and of course they had to stick up there, so we had to put a few air conditioners on top. And by the way, I'm sorry I moved the camera extremely fast there. And then we also handle this window that's on the side so people can see in on that side as well. We use these great commercial shop facades, which this does cover up the gray on that wall at least. And then I didn't realize, but I put 2 Just a Mementos. I did not want that. We get the signs for both of the buildings. That looks good. We get some awnings over it just to kind of, I don't know, give a little more detail in there. We add a beam over top to add it, and then I was really hoping we'd have a Just a Memento or a Hats Fantastic ad, but we only have a Looney Balloon, so of course we add the Looney Balloons in. So we get that all set in there. I experimented a little bit with the sequence, which is well past now, but and then I wasn't planning to use TMTK items for this shop, but as I was going through, I just realized if I didn't, it's just going to be a big open space. So I didn't want to go crazy. I just add a little bit of clutter in here. I don't know why I went so crazy with these shirts, but I did, and I just wanted the mostly average matte colors in here, because why not? I don't know why I had ties, but I did. We get a bunch of mugs and whatnot, which actually I feel like I removed those mugs, yeah. And just add some more plushes. And then I was trying to make this because I really did not want to didn't want to do this, because this is not something that I enjoy with the game, but I did want it to look somewhat realistic. So we deal with it. We get some Planet Coaster mugs in there. We duplicate a whole bunch. We get some blue mugs in. We get some of the board game, which is some of these pieces are just fantastic. And yeah, I mean, as I was looking through what I had, they are just truly amazing what people have created. So and of course this wouldn't be a shop without 2 posters in it, and you know, honestly, I was pretty happy with that. We just kind of fill up the other space with screens. It's not even anything crazy. And then in our big display case, I was like, this is a great place to advertise the shirts that are available. And I was like, you know what, they still kind of look pretty bare once I get the holders in here. So of course, they're Gulpy and King Coaster shirts, so I had a poster in behind them, and I think it really adds a lot to that area. So from here, it is just adding the foundation for the building, getting in a few benches and trash cans, and then making the name for this building. And I was not sure how I wanted to do it. I really did not want to have to separate it out and create the perfect circular motion, but it was not going to fit otherwise. So we go ahead and do it. We make sure we have 2 letters on top of each other so that we can have 2 rows, because I think that would be best. And we go crazy from here. So this takes a unnecessarily long time to switch the letters because I chose to do it with R. I could have done it with really any letter, but once we get it in, it actually, the amount of letters works out to be pretty good with the way it is, but it really needs to be condensed together. So we do take care of that, and that does not take all that long. But this is King Coaster Keepsakes, and theoretically it should have an apostrophe S at the end because it would be King Coaster's Keepsakes, but we're just gonna say that this is the name of the building, so it's King Coaster Keepsakes, and it's really trivial. It's just a unnecessary thing, but I did not want to have to deal with the apostrophe S, especially after how annoying it was to put this on the curved the curved wall there. So you can see we got it there. We separate King Coaster a little bit, we realigned Keepsakes, and there we are. It's all looking good. We go ahead and focus on our lights. Nothing too crazy here. Tidy up a few small pieces here just to kind of put some baseboard down there. And yeah, using these lights here. Oh, we do the square lighting. I forgot about this. So this is something I did on another one of my builds. I think I called it Mexcellente Bell several years ago. It kind of adds like a nice little effect. We do get some cameras in as well. And then we take a look at seeing what kind of trees we want to put behind it. I wanted to be able to make sure that you could see the sea steel eagle over the top of the building. So we choose a larger tree so you can still kind of see the tree, but it doesn't block it out completely. So, and then I just had one little area left that was a little odd in the way that it was connected, and I was like, yeah, let's just go ahead and put a little seating area in for additional seating for bear paw eats. So yeah, I think this build turned out a whole lot better than I expected, and I'm super happy with it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Please let me know if there's something I could have done a little bit different or made it look a little bit better in the comments, because I'm always looking for some feedback, and I really like to see what you guys have to say. So anyway, we are wrapping up this speed build here, and I will see you in the live portion. Welcome to the live portion of today's video, and man, did we get a ton done. You're looking at the bulk of the work here. King Coaster's Keepsakes. Yes, I know there should be an apostrophe S over here, but yeah, we're just gonna forget about that for now. So yeah, we did a ton today, and I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and I actually really like it. It all kind of makes the park uh, feel a little bit more complete than what it was before, where it was just the whirly rig here and just empty space on this side. So, uh, yeah, I'm real happy with the way it's turned out, and yeah, let's do a quick recap of what we did. We started off with the backstage area over here by Steel Eagle's gift shop, uh, and we just kind of cluttered it up a little bit. We flattened out the land, gave it a little bit more space. We did move Whirly Rig in order to do that, so Whirly Rig's way out there now. Um, we I was searching for a lot of pieces. I didn't know exactly what would fit back here, so I just kept finding more and more useful items. We got like a wrench box type thing here. We got some pallets and whatnot, boxes and crates and whatnot. So yeah, I think it all worked out. There's a little weird thing here with the planter that I wasn't thrilled about, but you know, we just hide it under the recycling bin and all as well. We got this retaining wall, which was necessary uh, to kind of get us back down a level and hide the terrain a little bit, because I knew it wasn't going to be easy to get a smooth descent down there, as well as trying to keep this tarmac and then have grass underneath. I knew it wasn't going to work out that well. So having this retaining wall kind of gave us the option to keep that. We threw in a couple tall trees, and I don't remember who said it a few videos ago. I think it was the video that I did this. I'm sorry I don't have their name, but they said that I put a lot of tall trees in that kind of ruin views and things like that. So I did want to block some here. Uh, and obviously, it's already kind of elevated and whatnot, but I didn't want people to be able to see a whole lot if they're riding Steel Eagle and coming down through here. So we got the taller fence here that kind of blocks them from that. They can see this area because it's part of the coaster and a necessary piece, and I don't want to go through and have just fencing everywhere. So I wasn't too concerned about that, but the generator I'm not too concerned about and whatnot. So, you know, I did keep a couple taller trees. Uh, Maybe I'll take some out to try and keep that keep it down a little bit. But I mean, you still have a pretty good view of this. It is obviously a little bit obstructed, but you really can't see much anyway. I mean, you'd be able to see it from over here, being able to look down the road, but um, we're gonna have some build. Well, I mean, this is probably our last building on this side, so. Uh, but yeah, I did want to have a little bit of a barrier there, because I want to cater to where you see the coaster rather than just you see it from everywhere. So from there, we kind of went on to this restroom building, and normally I will make a men's and a female restroom, but because this one's like it's got half on the outside, half on the inside of the park, I didn't think that would be necessary. Obviously, you could cram that in here, but with the game, it just becomes excessive. It also hurts our finances a lot. So we just went and we got two different restrooms in here. We got one on the inside, one on the outside of the park. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. I wasn't sure. It's just a square building, so I was like, man, this is gonna be tough to try and get this all to kind of blend in well. And honestly, being a restroom, it doesn't need to be much more than that. But I experimented with a lot of pieces. I had different colors in different areas with black and blue. These firehouse pieces, which are really cool, and give a little bit of light into the area. We also have this glass awning that would protect people from any rain or anything if they were sitting there, entering on the outside here. And then just to kind of save some piece count, and to make it look a little more interesting, we got a bunch of posters. A ton of posters. We do have the restroom sign out here, but yeah, uh, they are just everywhere. I use them a lot at the entrance here, so yeah, it's great. We do also have the restroom sign down there, but anyway, moving on. Once you go inside of the park, you have the other entrance to the restroom in here. And then I wanted a little seating area that would be covered. And now I'm not thrilled with this because it's just flat. I potentially should have put some angle into it and make it a little bit better, but I didn't, and I don't know if I'm going to change it or not because it kind of blends in now and I don't even notice it all that much. So, but we do have some TVs down here that are running some advertisements. Just because I didn't want to keep using the posters, because like I said, I use them everywhere this episode. So we got some lights here just to kind of give it a little bit of a mix-up. We have some of the floodlights to get a little more in here, and I really wish this bench could move down here, but Planet Coaster. So we do have some trees around the back just to kind of prevent you from seeing anything you wouldn't want to see, or you wouldn't want the guests to see. So we do have that. We have a blank wall over here, which we definitely don't want people to see. And as we move down, we start getting into the gift shop. Now, this side of the gift shop, we would anticipate this to be like a storage area for items, but that doesn't mean you can't have a viewing area or like a display case. So obviously we used the poster, and then threw some t-shirts in here, same over here, and obviously I don't care that these are backwards or anything. We get the plushes in there, and I think it just kind of adds a lot. I didn't want to do too much in here, but I think it works. And then getting into King Coaster's Keepsakes, yeah, kind of went a little crazy. I didn't want to do a lot of TMTK, but I ended up doing a lot of TMTK in here, so sorry, but if we didn't, it just looked so blah and nothing going on. So we obviously covered up some blank wall over here with the posters. We got a TV with a Cosmic Cow screen. We got a Gulpy screen on this side. We have Hats Fantastic, which is not open, as well as Just a Memento. So that is pretty exciting. I don't know why we have ties in here, but we got a postcard section. We got the game. We've got pretty much everything you'd want. And then for whatever reason, I wanted to keep these like circle things in here, and we just kind of made like a little support structure so I didn't have to delete them. So we got that, and then we have a little seating area. This would just be, whoa, tree. This would just be like a little additional seating for Bear Paw Eats, so people could grab their food and walk over here, and so far no one has done it. So that's pretty awesome. We did expand this out so people couldn't just like cut through here. That way it keeps, like, if you're eating here, you don't have just people constantly walking beside you, because that would be pretty annoying. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. Like I said, it kind of makes this area of the park look a lot more complete than what it used to. When you look on this side, it's like, wow, there's not much going on here. So I do still have to work on this side, but I got really motivated to do all of these things. Also, these air conditioning units are there because there were some pieces sticking up, so I think I showed that in the time lapse. But anyway, yeah, real happy with it, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys approve or if I need to make some modifications, because this was not exactly what I had planned here. So anyway, let's get moving on here. We have a lot of guests trying to use different shops. We have shops that are empty. Thankfully, we got this person going back in here, which is good. And those are all filled up. So that's all good. They are definitely losing money for us, but, you know, whatever. It's not that important. Let's jump into the management features. I just got to pull it up and just go through. So we got 99% happiness. That's good. Not as good as last episode where we had 100%, but it is what it is. People are really loving the park. Carousel is good value. Staff happiness is great. Scissor is the most profitable ride. That means that Steel Eagle probably broke down. Steel Eagle gift shop, that is looking good on that front, but I do think we've primarily lost money. Most popular attraction has now moved to Crankshaft. So that's interesting because it used to be the tram. So, and this was actually, I put this episode together pretty quickly, so I don't think it's taken as long as what it has for previous episodes. But anyway, we look at our finances, and our ticket sales are just great. Our coaster ticket sales, you know, you look at this, and we almost got $7,000 with one coaster, which is insane. Small attractions, I think we are making money on our small attractions. We have about $60. I think we only have one, so that's pretty darn good. Ride running costs, obviously that's going to hurt us. Coaster running costs, that's going to hurt us too. But we're making money every month with that, so that's awesome. Priority pass sales, look at that, $30. Yeah, we are not making that much money there, but you know, it is what it is. So we move on to our shops and facilities. I honestly do not expect to make money on these, but at least not right now while we're still building and adding a bunch of things. And obviously we have to open Hat's Fantastic and Just a Memento here shortly, but I don't know if they're going to help us or hurt us, because Just a Memento is expensive to run for their snow globes. But for now, we made money last month. We're making money this month, so that is great news. Our park management, we are obviously losing money on our staff wages, our scenery running costs. That's going to go up more because I added a couple of security cameras. So that's to be expected. Construction, not concerned about that. Nothing there. So yeah, looking pretty good. No research, no marketing, our staff. Let's see how we are looking. And before we get into that, I mention it every episode. If you're interested in being a part of the channel and want to work for the park, please leave a comment below with the position that you want, whether you want to be an entertainer, janitor, vendor, whatever you want to be. And we'll get you hired into the park. So I try and mention everyone's name that I have hired, but sometimes I do skip over a few depending on how the episode is going. So, but anyway, our entertainers, Daniel Pospichal and Kay Dancer, they are doing great. They are only on level 1 training, and I have no interest to train them up at the moment. They're super happy. And everyone loves them. They're all always saying that they're great when I get to the guests, so we'll see if that happens again. Our janitors, they're all looking good, all normal, normal happiness and normal workloads, so that's looking good. Our vendors, this is where it's going to get a little interesting. So Goku over 9,000, we definitely want to get Goku trained up here. Who else do we have? Rusty Gooch, doing great as always. I don't think I want to see anyone else get trained up. I only trained up Goku because obviously he's one of you. And our I really like you guys, so I want you to be as trained up as possible so you guys can make me the most money in game here. So naturally I had to train Goku up. So we're gonna have to revisit this here in a second. And actually, do we want to do it now? I think we're gonna hire 3 people. 1, 2, 3. And that's because they're gonna take care of Coaster's Keepsakes. So that should be good. So we got Rosetta Bolden, Dahlia Duke, and Alma Tagny. And then, oh man, we have decided to pay these guys a lot of money. Why did these guys get all this money? Oh, you know why? Because they are guest services and they're going to be bored out of their mind. That is why we gave them that much money. Everyone else, though, let's try $90 here. 90, and 90. Okay, apparently I did not. There we go. Alright, so we got all of them. We have to add a new work roster, so we're gonna get that. And we've already split this staff building, so we can get that in there. We will call this King Coaster Keepsakes. Alright. So that will kind of bring that down now. Let's... Ooh, sorry about that. Had a cough come in. I could feel it coming. And, yeah, I did not want to cough into the mic for you guys to hear that. So, let's go ahead. Let's get everyone on here. And then... oh my gosh. So far away. Where's she at? Honestly, pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with the way that looks. So let's go. Let's get Dahlia. We're also going to have you there. And then Alma. There we go. Alright. So all 3 of them are now assigned to work in the gift shop there. And we should be good moving forward. I may combine them with... No, I probably won't combine them with the guest services, because I don't think that will work right. So our mechanics, they're all looking good. It looks like we made the right decision to not train them up anymore. Our security guards, Nocturo, I watched Nocturo catch several people while I was building, so we definitely want to get him trained up a little bit. How are we looking for security? Multiple thefts. I'm kind of on the fence about hiring a new one. You know what, let's do it. Let's get everyone in here. let's get a new security officer here. So there we go. Just one. We don't need anyone else. Quinn Schwartz. Get you in here. We got two blacks, and then a darker orange. We will pay you $115. Now I wonder. I don't think that matters. So let's see. We have free roaming, main entrance, the American Arrow. Let's do. Oh, you know what? No, let's put the American Arrow, and we'll put you in the main entrance. So we got two very well seasoned guards. There we have one seasoned guard at the American Arrow, so out in this area. We have a new trainee out in this area, and then we have Nocturo doing a free roam, so you can go wherever he wants, or they want. All our work rosters, that looks fine. Our staff buildings. Bearpaw Eats is starting to pick up, so we are going to add two more. So that people can use this. See how we're maxed out here? Well, we were maxed out. And we also want to be able to have our security officers using this one as well. So we are looking good there. That's going to be much more expensive now. But it's better than adding another building in general. So resting and staff. Yeah, look at all these. No, wait, this is literally all three of the ones that I... Oh, that's because they're not open yet. That's my fault. Alright, so... Family groups. Family has increased. Adult groups have kind of fallen back a little bit, but they do spend the most money, which is awesome. Teen groups do spend more money now as well. And that might directly relate to the whirly rig being moved. Also, the line for Steel Eagle has been insane lately, so this is all looking good. 98% happiness. Energy is 73%. Hunger 67%. Thirst, blah blah blah. All that is fine. We do have people that are thirsty. I'm not too concerned about that. Daniel Paw is the best. No key to answer. No key to answer today. So yeah, these are all looking great. Don't have money. There is an ATM over there, so that's all awesome. Alright, so now let's get into our attractions. None of the actual attractions have changed at all, so that's fine. Now our shops, they definitely did. And that is because we have just a memento, which we need to change to KCK, which is King Coaster Keepsakes. Just a memento. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and open that up, and it's $800. That's insane. Anyway, moving on. KCK hats, fantastic. There we go. That's $600, so that's pretty insane. But oh my gosh! All right, so we need to adjust some of this. So crown, yes, we'll keep that. No pirate hat, baseball cap's fine. No sci-fi, no cowboy, no archer. Special effect baseball cap. That's fine. I can do that. We're gonna charge an outrageous. Let's do $15. This might be too much. But that's fine. Statue of Liberty, Uncle Sam hat. Rock hat, police hat. I'm just looking for anything that would make sense with what we have. Actually, these do make sense because we have Steel Eagle, so that is good. And I don't think we really have anything else that would be of benefit to us. So the $15, that's fine. Let's take a look here. Alright, so we got Snow Globe, sure, Crystal Ball, Sci-Fi Radio. We don't need a Sci-Fi Radio. You know what, let's just keep the Crystal Ball. Let's make this $18. So, does that adjust our cost to... No. Okay. Great. Vendor salary, that's awesome. I don't know if this will be... Oh, there are people in there. Look at him buying his hat. They all bought hats. Holy crap. And they didn't blink once about getting buying it. So, Snow Globe, yep. So that's all good. Not a fan that they walk through that, but I don't really want to mess with anything. Also, I'm not going to see it, so yeah, we might make money on that. They are lifetime profit. Yeah, they are quickly eating into their monthly running costs, so that's a good thing. So that's awesome. We might actually make money with that. Our facilities, they're obviously going to lose us some money. Where is this? This is Grandpa Eats. Why is this called Standard Restroom? Okay. There we go. And then this one. Alright, so we got... Is this the inside or outside? It's the outside. Outside main gate restroom. Okay, and then this one will be inside main gate restroom. There we go. Oh, I think we need to do something with our work rosters for this. So our main entrance, I think we need that, because I think if we don't do that, the janitors won't go clean it. So, what about the American Arrow? Okay, that's all good. Alright, so there we go. That shouldn't change anything else. We don't have anything else. I was debating on putting a restaurant in this area, but I just didn't have the space. And also, I mean, it is right next to Bear Paw Eats, so I think it's fine. Security. We have 5 pickpocket victims. I'm glad we hired a new security guard. Our cameras are getting expensive. Acts of theft spotted. 2. Interesting. And all of that's looking fine, and our special effects are fine. We're probably going to be putting in speakers on a future episode here, but I want to try and get some more of this area tidied up. I think this will probably be the next area. Maybe we'll start working on our tram ride. I'm not sure. Or maybe we'll build some buildings over here, which, speaking of this area, let's take a look here. How big is this area? Doesn't matter what we have. So we got 1, 2. Can we get a half? Can actually get 3/4. So this area I need buildings for, and I don't want to build them. So I'm going to build this because I want to hide the hole in the wall where people magically appear from. But I'm going to be putting it out to you guys. If you want to get a building in the park, let me know with a link in the comment to your Steam workshop page that you want to have in there, and I'll go ahead and put it in. I want it to be city themed, so do keep that in mind. I don't want just like random pirate stuff or anything like that. I am going to filter it, so it's going to have a certain quality, and I'm sorry if I say no to anyone, but yeah, and then I'll go through if I have any suggestions and walk through. It was 2 3/4 tiles deep, so that is the area, and I want to try and fill up this whole area. I also, please don't be upset if I do end up taking your building. I may make some small changes to make it fit into the park a little bit better. So yeah, I'm excited to see if we get any submissions for that, because I really don't want to have to build all those buildings. That's a lot to do, and there's really not much need for it in the park. It just kind of takes time away from me. So, and I'd rather be working inside the park here rather than doing some of these smaller buildings on the outside. So, anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you saw something I could have done better, let me know in the comment section. And if you want to see some more awesome Planet Coaster content, please subscribe to the channel. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later.